Hi everyone, welcome to today's lesson. At this point, you should have a first draft of your resume, so we're going to use today to make some final touches to it and do some reflecting on it. So today we're going to start with the objective statement. We kind of left that till the end because it's helpful to see the rest of your resume before you jump in and do your objective statement. It's also called a summary statement. There's a couple different names for it, but it's that part on top where you're making it job specific. So you're going to change this depending on which job you're applying to. So when you make yours, kind of have a career field, or you can just kind of be general with it. But it goes at the top of your resume, right below your contact information. And it's essentially just like, this is who I am, this is what I'm writing this resume for, this is what I want. So some things to put in there. You can start with a strong trait, add 2 to 3 skills, describe your career goals, say what you hope to do for the company that you're applying to. That last part, if you don't have a specific company, you can just make it something general. So I'll show you a couple of them. This one says motivated, teamwork-oriented, and responsible data analyst with significant experience in increasing comprehension of reports and presentations by the average professional. Highly educated, possessing a bachelor's and master's and professional certification in business analytics and statistics, bilingual in English and tag-along with an intermediate understanding of Spanish. So they have some of their strong traits, they have some skills. They don't get too specific with a company, but they do describe career goals that they're working in data analyst work. So you can kind of see how all those things are related to it, and they give us an idea of who they are and what they want. And then I'm going to see their experience below. So this one's titled Professional Summary. Again, you can use different names for it, but the accomplished operations executive with successful track record overseeing regional marketing, IT, HR training, and property in company and franchise operations for a large chain of restaurants. So again, we get these traits and skills. It gives us some idea of what career field they're in, operations executive, working for chains of restaurants. So again, it gives us kind of all of their skill right up front before we go down and look at the rest of it. Our last one, 15 plus years of experience as a technology teacher, is looking to join an organization that allows growth and experience while contributing a professional and detail-oriented attitude towards a wide array of tasks. So looking to join an organization that allows growth and experience, and that's describing those career goals along with the skills and the traits. So that's kind of what that part should look like. You are going to create yours. I'll leave one of these up here as an example. Try to have some of these things in there, and you can see that they don't get too long. They're 2 or 3 sentences. So that'll be longer or shorter depending on how much you have to offer as far as your professional summary, but also if you know what field you're going to be looking at. So once you have that in there, we're going to take a look back at our resume and see how we feel about it. For each of these categories, I'm just going to ask you to rate yourself from 1 to 10. So 10 would be the best side of it, and then 1 is that you're really lacking in this part. So the first part is your resume should fill about a page. If you don't have a page, you want to go back and look at some of those categories and think, how can I add more information here? And I'll also give you some options of things to add at the end. The first is just the length of it. The next one is looking at it visually. So the first thing an employer is going to do is they're going to look at your resume visually, and they're going to decide, I'm going to move on or I'm going to stay here. The visual is the first thing they're going to see before they even read anything. So is it well spaced? Does the font size distribution make sense? So there's sections that are bigger and more bold, or there's sections that are underlined. Can I clearly see where I'm moving from one section to the next? All this, you have to take a look at it visually and see kind of what that looks like. So you want to think about, what does your heading look like? Is it all together? Is it spaced out long ways? And then when I look at the whole thing, like, how does it look? Like this one looks like all of my headings are the same, my spacing is the same. Like they put thought into how this is looking by the end. That's what you want to do when you're looking at that category. Next one is thinking about my skills and my volunteer work. I want to make sure that I have full statements in there, that I've really described it. So when I take a look at it, it should look something like this. Like I have bullet points, or I've indented, and I have full descriptions that go along with that for my work experience and for my volunteer work. Also, if you're doing activities, achievements, awards, you also want to have full statements in there. So this kind of applies to all those different categories. For your education statement, you just want to make sure that it's clear where you went, when you graduated your degree, and also like the bolding and the spacing and the italics on this is going to be important. So when you look at this one, again, there's spacing, they have their GPA in there, they have the name of the school, they have the time that they went there. So all these things are things that you want to make sure that you have in there when you go back and go this category. The category, if you didn't make it to a whole page and you need to add some more things in there, one thing you can add is references. So if your resume is not that strong and needs more things in it, you can add references in here. You have to get permission from people. So usually for people who haven't had many jobs, like you can use someone from an old job, or you can use teachers or guidance counselors. Like those are people you can reach out to put as a reference, and it would look like this. So you put their name, their contact information, and just title it as its references. So this is something extra if you need to add something onto the end of yours. And then once you look at this category, you should have a good sense of your resume, and then we'll use these ratings that you've done to see if we need to make any